How do you disable an upstart service in Ubuntu 10.10? In 10.10, upstart is being used instead of sysfernet. It's possible to remove annoying upstart services which you do not want by removing the appropriate file in /etc/init/blah.conference. However, this seems a heavy-handed approach. How do you correctly configure upstart to be able to selectively turn these services on and off via the command line? As a practical example, the answers listed here to turn GDM off using conf no longer work. How do I prevent GDM from running at boot on Ubuntu?
If you look in /etc/init.d, you will notice that any services that are configured through upstart are just symbolic links to /lib/init/upstart, so removing them from /etc/init.d just removes the link, not the script. If you want an interface to this, you can install the chconfig package, apt-get install chconfig, which gives a useful command line tool. You can enable, disable services for specific run levels, or just turn them on and off, with. For example, to turn it off completely, to turn it on with the defaults more, to only turn it on for run levels 3 and 4, You'll usually find this command on role-based systems, CentOS, Fedora, etc. Update. This is specific to Ubuntu and GDM, KDM, whatever. When GDM starts up, it calls an upstart config file /etc/init/gdm.conference. This file then references /etc/x11/default display manager to see if it is the default display manager for the system. If it is, then it starts. The /etc/x11/default display manager just contains. You can replace this with another display manager, or remove the file entirely and it won't start GDM. A line from the /etc/init/gdm.conference file. It's saying if the file /etc/x11/default display manager doesn't exist, or if it doesn't contain /user/bin/gdm, then exit.
I've always found the sysvrc conference tool very helpful. It has a very nice and easy to use interface. Install it like this. Use it like this.
Simply take a look at man5 init, and you will find a more appropriate solution. Short example, say we have a service called foobar, so there would be a file called /etc/init/foobar.conference with its upstart configuration. Now you don't want to remove that file, nor to modify it, but neither you want this service to run? So place an override file next to it, /etc/init/foobar.override, containing, optionally, the header with the description and, instead, the start on, stop on lines. You place a line with one word, manual. This way you tell upstart to basically use the foobar.conference, but override the startup definition to only start that service when manually enforced, via service foobar start, in our example.
My recommendation would be to simply comment out all start on and stop on lines. That worked well for me when I ran init show config to see if the automatic startup of my program I wanted was disabled.
If you want to support the channel, please consider subscribing.